Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. And as you can see, I'm freezing cold. It's so cold here in Spain at the moment. This morning, when I got up, it was 6 degrees. It is now it's climbed to the dizzy heights now of 11 degrees. Um, Very, very cold, as you can see. That's why I've got my hat on. That's why I've got my big jumper on, and I'm just thinking, where's my gloves again? I don't know what I've done with my gloves. But anyway, what we're going to talk about in this video, I hope you're all well, by the way. Let me know what the weather's like where you are. Remember to hit like and subscribe or share, and remember to press notifications. Yeah, let me know, what the weather's like where you are. In this video, we're going to talk about Jay Slater, but really, we're not talking about Jay. We're talking about his mum. So his mum, Debbie, you can see in this picture up in the corner. Let's have a little reminder of this case. So this is Jay, and he went on his first sort of lads' holiday, if you like, to Tenerife. Was it only last year? It feels like a long time ago now, but I think it was last summer, not this summer just gone, but the summer before. Off he went to Tenerife with his friends. If I remember, I'll put up the playlist for this case, because I covered this case from the very day one that Jay went missing. It really resonated with me. Having a young son as well, or my son's a lot older than Jay now, but I've been through that with him. How far do your kids get to a point, don't they, sons or daughters, where they're grown up as far as they're concerned. Remember how you felt when you were that age, and they do silly things. They go out, they get drunk, they take drugs, they get involved with people, inappropriate people. They decide, I'm fine. What, especially once they're on one, nothing's going to bring them home until they're ready to come home. And he was abroad. For some unknown reason, he decided to go off with two guys to an Airbnb up in the mountains in Tenerife. I think he probably regretted that quite soon afterwards. Tried to go back to where he was staying in Tenerife, and couldn't be bothered waiting for the bus. There was supposedly a bus every 20 minutes or whatever. He decided not to do that. He probably thought he could make it himself. He could walk, because if you look from where that Airbnb is to the sea where he knew he was staying at the beach, it was a long walk. If you were going to walk on the roads, the roads were windy because it's coming down a mountain. So he didn't want to do that. I think he just decided, he was going to take a direct route. He could see where the beach was, he could see where the sea was, and he thought, oh yeah, and it does look like an easy walk from there. But of course it wasn't. There's ravines. There's unforgiving terrain. There's all those things. Anyway, to cut a long story short, what is thought happened, the official version of what happened, and this is the version his family accepts, everybody accepts, except a few sort of trolls out there who just can't accept that it's not as strange as you think it is for a young person to decide to take chances like that and come to unfortunate ends, because Jay fell down a ravine and there were searches made for him for weeks. I mean, he was missing for a long time, till finally, very sadly, but luckily, that his body was found in a ravine where he'd fallen down the ravine. He'd sent these panic texts, hadn't he, to his friends, saying he didn't have much battery left on his phone. He had no water. He didn't know where he was. He was scared. You know, we've heard all that. And to me, you know, I know other people have different opinions and everyone's entitled to their opinion. But all I would say to you, where's your evidence? Where's the evidence that anything else happened to this boy? And anyway, besides that, that's not really what we're going to discuss. It's one thing to have a view on something or to query things. It's quite another thing to give deliberate misinformation out about someone, to accuse a grieving mother of killing her own son or having something to do with it, or it's all for money, or this, that and the other. That is completely different from just having a view, or I think there's more to it, which, you know, probably a lot of people do. Anyway, he was finally found. His mum, his poor mum and dad and brother, all his family, you know, they had to bring him home in a body bag. But at least he's been able to have a funeral. You know, it's not unlike the sort of John George case, is it? John George, again, it happened in Spain, but he was murdered, brutally murdered. But his family were out there looking for him and finally found him and got to take him home. But I was thinking just before I started this video about John George and Jay, because they had similar... what's the word? Both of them got into trouble when they were in their early teens. You know, Jay got involved with a group that were involved with a machete attack on someone. And it's important to remember that that person who was attacked in that machete attack, he has forgiven Jay and said that Jay should not, you know, that should not be held against him. And he's the person who was attacked. But the thing is, it seems like Jay was on the periphery of the group. But Jay did not get prison time. Jay received a suspended sentence. Whereas if you look at John George, he too got involved in things that he shouldn't have done when he was 15, 16. But he received prison time. And while John George was in prison, that's when he became addicted to prescription drugs initially. And, you know, the thing is, when young people go to prison, they are then exposed to even more dodgy people. You know, it's like, well, I think, you know, this is a good, looking at these two cases, I'd say, well, I mean, it's a good case for not sending young people to prison for these kind of offences that they got involved with. I mean, don't get me wrong, if a young person murders someone, I think they should definitely go to prison. I don't have any compunction about that, you know, depending on the case. But I think both of them, the cases that they were arrested for were similar. So, you know, getting into trouble with another load of young lads, and maybe not clear who was the ringleader, etc. Whereas, so Jay received a suspended sentence. And when Jay died, he had turned his life around. He was doing a bricklayer's apprenticeship. Everyone seemed to think he was, you know, brilliant, reliable, trustworthy, all those things. The commonalities between Jay and John George are both adored by their families, you know, so sort of getting involved in the wrong things and probably causing a lot of problems for their families, but adored by their families nonetheless. You know, we have to think how we think about our sons and daughters. We love them no matter what they do, don't we? So is this a case where it was better what happened with Jay, that he was not given a prison sentence, because he then, you know, got a job and was doing well, and unfortunately died of this in this terrible event. But whereas John George, he was given a prison sentence, he just got involved with more criminals probably. He ended up addicted to prescription drugs. So maybe it would have been different for John George if he would have been given a suspended sentence, as opposed to actually being given prison time. So anyway, let me know what you think. It's just something that occurred to me when I was preparing for this video. the sort of similarities between these cases, but also the differences. Obviously, John George was a lot older than Jay when he died, but he was in that position where Jay was, whereas Jay seemed like he, there's not many 19-year-olds who don't get into some sort of problems, or, you can't hold it against them for the rest of their lives, as long as, I say, if it's not murder or, something really sadistic or whatever. Yeah, just food for thought, isn't it? Maybe it is better not to put young people in prison just to become even worse offenders. But anyway, so just something that I was mulling over as I was getting ready to do this video. So I just wanted to share it with you. But let me know what you think, of course. Remember, you make any comment you want as long as it's respectful. I won't accept any disrespectful comments towards Debbie, Jay's mum. I won't accept that. They'll just be gone because, she's doing the best she can to cope with the fact that she has lost her son. And it's Debbie who's lost her son. It's Debbie that wakes up every morning and Jay is not there. It's not us. It's not you trolls. I don't mean you in particular, but if there is any trolls out there, it's not you who has to wake up thinking about Jay and how you'll never see him again. You're just carrying on your life and having a little troll every now and again. This is Debbie. This is her son. He lived with her. This is her life. This is her reality. So I won't accept any disrespect towards her. So what we're going to talk about in this video is Debbie is coming out fighting. So, we've talked in the past about how families are victims. They react in different ways, don't they? Some go very private and quiet, etc. And some try and change the world, in the name of their loved one, try and make a difference to other people maybe going through the same thing. And Debbie's obviously decided that. So she's trying to bring in Jay's law, which is a law that will make YouTubers, social media people, and also mainstream media people. I mean, we can't always blame this on social media. It's not. Mainstream media's just as bad, if not worse, from spreading disinformation or misinformation. Now, I hope that's not the same if Debbie's watching. And I think all of you know I've always tried to stick with the facts with Jay's case and with all cases. Sometimes that doesn't go down well with people. Sometimes people who don't even know Jay or have got anything to do with him, have given me, even my own followers, given me a hard time. Or, but this happened or that happened, or haven't you read about this, or haven't you seen what this YouTuber said? And I'm like, well, where's the evidence? And then you go, oh, well, I haven't got any evidence, but it doesn't matter, it does matter. So if you've got no evidence, just leave it. If you can have your suspicions, you can have your views, but where's the evidence to back it up? There is no evidence that anything else happened to Jay. The Spanish people were satisfied it was an accident. The Spanish police, the British police, the inquest, the family, they can't all be wrong. And then you've just got you trolls out there saying, oh, no, but what about, oh, yeah, he was taken off in this boat, or, it's just ludicrous, some of the things that were said about Jay. And not only about Jay and the situation of him dying, of him having his accident or murder, or, some people seem to think that, somebody took him up in a helicopter and dropped him off the edge of the ravine without anybody noticing. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I know it's suspicious that he went off to that Airbnb. Why did he go? But, there's no proof that Ayub or Rocky or anyone else, they took him up to a ravine and pushed him over. How did they get there? How did they get back? Or did they get this, phantom helicopter to, take him up and drop him over there? You've got to use your logical brain. He had a terrible accident. It was a terrible accident. He got lost and he went the wrong way and he wasn't dressed, and he'd been out for 3 nights or whatever, 2-3 nights. He was wasted. He had no water, and you know, he went the wrong way. He told his friends that he didn't know where he was. He couldn't find his way back. Anyway, so whatever you think, Debbie certainly didn't have any. So even if you think maybe, you know, there was more to it, okay, fine. Do you think that Debbie had a hand in his murders? That's what she's been accused of by some trolls, saying that she killed her own son, or she profited. You know, she did it for money. You know, she did. Gosh, she actually went and had her nails done. She shouldn't have done that when she was searching for her son. But what was she supposed to do? She didn't go out physically searching for him because of the terrain. You know, so she, you know, what would you do? Anyway, I feel like if I have to explain it to people, then they're not going to listen anyway. But yeah, she was just sitting around day after day while she was there in Tenerife, waiting for someone to tell her they'd found her son's dead body. Really, that was basically her life. Do you want to? So, what did the GoFundMe raise? I think it was 85,000 or somewhere around there. Would you if you've got a son or a daughter that you love, would you exchange their life for £85,000? You know, would you, even if you were comfortable for the rest of your life, would you exchange that, or would you turn around and say, take the £85,000 back, just give me my son back? You know, and of course she won't. Not all that was like a profit, was it? It was she paid for searchers. They paid for people to stay there in Tenerife. Not only they didn't know how long they were going to have to be there. Paid for friends to be there. They paid for you know, supposed mountain experts and their clothes, etc. You know, so. Why do people, and also a lot of the people whinging about the GoFundMe, they never contributed to GoFundMe. How dare you tell people, you know, if people want to donate money to Debbie. I mean, I've only ever donated to one GoFundMe, and it wasn't this one. But if I ever did, it's not, that's my choice. It's my choice, not your choice. And if I did donate to a GoFundMe, I don't care what they do with it. I've made the decision to donate to it. If I don't like what they've done to with the money, I just won't donate again. Or even maybe if you were a donator, you might query it with them. But if you haven't even donated, what the hell right do you have to query somebody's GoFundMe? Don't have that right. Just ridiculous, isn't it? There's a lot of keyboard warriors out there. So I agree with what Debbie's doing. I think go Debbie. I feel like Debbie has decided she's going to come back fighting a little bit in this and make, if she can make Jay's law, that also is a way that Jay's name lives on, because, you know, this boy, Debbie will be going through, can you imagine it? At first it'll be all the thing about him being missing, and it'd be all going on, and then he was found, and then it was all planning the funeral, and then it's all that going on. Then there's been the inquest, then there's been the documentary, and now it's like, what happens now? Jay's still not here. You know, I've gone through all that. When you're going through all those things, you're probably feeling like he's still alive in some way or still around. And then suddenly you sat there and it's like, right, what do we do now? So she's trying to make a constructive thing happen in her son's memory, and good for her. I'm all for it. And I'm going to show you the video that she's made. I'm going to, I need to get a link for the petition and share that somewhere. I'll probably do that in a community post. Please sign the petition. And I am a content creator, but I don't spread misinformation like these others do. Honestly, some of them, they're just unbearable. And then not only that, they come on my channel and try and spread misinformation. So anyway, first of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone before we get into it proper. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, being members, buying Ko-fis, sending super stickers, or emails or whatever positive way you contribute to my channel. Thank you so much. And those of you that stick with me, I know you feel like I do, that we can only stick to official information, that conspiracy theories and rumours and misinformation are not a positive thing, are they? What else did I want to say? Oh yes, I've just had a new members video gone out today about the I just want to mention it briefly. I'm not mentioning his name because I've took a decision that I'm not going to ever mention this person's name again, but the self-professed sonar expert who is supposedly about to sue the Lancashire police. So I've released a video about that on the members. I won't be talking about it publicly because that's what this person wants, trying to get their name in the, spoken as much as possible. I'm not going to mention their name. I'm not going to talk about it publicly. I think they're disgusting, to be honest. But anyway, going on now, I'm going to come into the, I want to say hello to my lovely lurkers. Thank you for watching. Oh, by the way, my Temu package arrived. This is one of the nail varnishes that are in it. The nail varnishes are good. The rest of it is a load of crap, I think. So for the long wait that I had for that Temu package to arrive, I would not recommend Temu at all. It's rubbish. It takes ages to arrive. And when it arrives, it's a disappointment. So apart from the nail varnishes, so they're nice, but to wait 3 weeks for these nail varnishes to arrive. Okay, so hello lovely lurkers, hello replay crew, thank you for watching. And now let's come into the chat and see those of you who are brave enough to come into the chat. Hi Bluebell, hi Tracy. Everyone's cold, I think. Hi, Angel. Exactly. Young people don't do sensible things. The problem is sometimes when we're looking at cases like this, it's been a long time since we were young and maybe we've forgotten what we used to do when we were young. I know what I used to do. You're all chatting away there. Hang on. I'm getting down there. Hi, Bumblebeat. Oh, Bluebell, have you already signed the petition? I'll tell you what I might try and do is get the link now to put in here. A bit of 60s vibe. Oh, yeah, so this is just literally, I've fished out my woolly pink hat. Really keeps you, I've got to feel warm already. I've been freezing all morning, really. And I've had like fleecy pajamas on and everything. I mean, now I've got dress and I've got a big jumper on. But this hat makes most difference, I think. Right, let's find the link to this petition. And I'll put it in the chat. And as I say, I don't know. Debbie strikes me as a person that probably social media does not come naturally to her. I wonder if she had a TikTok account before. Probably not. But she's realised or been advised that this is the way to get through to people. And so she's branching out, as Warren, Jay's dad. Now, I hope if they've ever they may not have seen anything on my channel, maybe not, but I just, if you are watching this, Debbie or Warren or anybody, I would love to have you, if you want me to say anything on your behalf, please send me an email. I would love to hear, from you and what you say is okay for me to put out on my channel. But what I want to say is I hope you realise that not all social media creators are bad. Some of us, we were just desperate that Jay should be found. We felt for you all, heartfelt, myself and my followers, just for Jay to be found. We weren't interested in the rumours and everything. Now, some people were, And unfortunately, some people have fallen out with me over it. I've lost followers over it. Do you know, I don't care, because if you really believe all that, you know, you're not a follower that belongs on my channel. There's a million channels out there that you could go and follow who do, you know, believe in all that conspiracy rubbish. So go and follow them. You know, if you don't like me or the things I have to say, and I'm just speaking my truth, you know, that's your choice. And you know, it's sad because a lot of, you know, sometimes we can agree on some things, but the thing is, what you have to understand is, I wouldn't ban someone for disagreeing with me. They disagree with me, I say, I'm sorry, I don't agree, and that's fine, but you have your opinion, your view, as long as you're not disrespectful. Once you start being disrespectful, you're gone, whether it's to me, to any of the other chatters, or to Jay's family. But as long as all you're doing is expressing your view, you're welcome to share it. But if you don't like my views, then, you know, you can't. People bang on about free speech, but, you know, most of the people that go on about free speech, what they mean is, I want my free speech, but you can't have yours. So yeah, have your free speech, but, you know, I've got my opinion, as have a lot of my other chatters. And if you can't respect that, then really you do belong on another channel, really, to be honest. Okay, let's see if I can find the link for the... You know, what we have to remember is what this woman has been through is terrible, I think. Just terrible. Just imagine, your son's dead, you know, in this terrible accident. You've had to bring his body back home, a body bag. You've had to bring him home in a body bag, and at the same time you've had to contend with all this nastiness. She's had kidnap demands, people sharing photos that have been messed with, videos that have been messed with, accusing him of this, that and the other. It's terrible. Really, really terrible. Right, I can't find the link for some reason, but I'll find it somewhere as we go along. Okay, so let's have a look at Debbie's post. Hey, is that Annie? I feel cozy. Somebody mentioned Annie there. Hey, Annie. Yeah, you know, I've been worrying about you. I have been worrying about you, Annie, but I don't like to put pressure on people if I haven't seen them for a while, because maybe they just decided that, you know, they don't like my channel anymore. So, you know, I don't like putting pressure on people. But I'm so glad to see you. I hope everything's okay. It's been a long time no see. I hope it's just because you've been busy and not for any bad reason. But anyway. Yeah, so sorry, we were going to watch this appeal by Debbie. So this is on this. I don't know if she's got an actual TikTok account of her own. But anyway, this I think is somebody else's TikTok account. So, but
as a lot of you remember, my son Jay Slater went missing last June in Tenerife. He was found having tragically fallen to his death. During that time, and to this day, our family and friends have continued to suffer due to the misinformation and lies being spread on social media. There are still videos being made on a daily basis. Families like ours deserve the space to grieve. We need social media companies to do more to protect people and for Ofcom to be held accountable. With Jay's law, we can do this. So I need your help to sign and share this petition. As a lot of you remember, my son Jay Slater
I'm trying to pause it. And it's not.
He was found having tragically fallen.
There you go. Now, the thing is, I completely agree with Debbie. You know, I think there should be a regulation of social media content, just like other content. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be allowed to have your free speech and all that, But what I'm saying is, when you actually provide, I've seen some things on not only TikTok, YouTube, that have taken my breath away with how the misinformation that's on there, the lies. It's like they can say anything. I could make a TikTok, just saying anything I wanted. And do you know what? Sometimes they pull you up on TikTok for some things, as they do on YouTube, of course, certain words and stuff like that. But there's other things that are just allowed to run rampant on there, and you report them. And not same on X or Facebook or any of those social media platforms. It's like you can say all these horrible things, but if you try, like, I'll tell you what they don't like on YouTube, especially. What was it I made a video about? Oh, this guy in the UK who's just pled guilty to giving children sweets laced with drugs. This is a guy in his 70s who's probably been doing it for years. And the video I did about him, demonetized. And the thing about demonetization is, it's not only that then the YouTuber doesn't get any revenue. Don't think that's a loss of loads of money, because it isn't. Because unless your video's getting thousands and thousands of views, probably you're losing at the most a £5 or something like that. Most videos only earn about €1. Most videos I do, because I'm not a big YouTuber, maybe €1 a video, or if it gets a lot of traction, maybe you get a couple of euros a video. It's not massive amounts. So, when you say demonetization and people go, oh yeah, that you're just worried about the money. It's not about the money, because it's not loads of money as one video. What it's about is, if you get demonetized, it means they don't push that video out, to the algorithm and whatever. And when it comes to a case like that, I want people to know about that man. I want them to know, because he's, God knows what sentence he's going to get. Will he even get a custodial sentence? Probably not, if Hugh Edwards is anything to go by. So he's probably not going to get much justice for what he's done. But I just want everyone to see his face, everyone to hear his name, everyone to realise that this man is dangerous around young boys. So it's not only about when I say demonetisation, it's not about losing the money, losing the €2 or whatever that I might have got for that video. It's about the fact then that it won't get pushed out into the algorithm, and people won't get to hear about what's happened. And cases like that, because he's like a middle class ex-vet, person, trustee in a charity, it won't get big news anyway. It'd only get big news if it was some immigrant who just got off the boat who did it, drugging a load of young lads. That would get massive coverage anyway. This guy's hardly had any coverage. He's not sort of controversial enough, is he? But he is the monster that needs monitoring, because, people will look at him and think he's a safe person for your kids to be around. So I forgot why I started saying this now. I went off on a rant. God, I really have forgotten why I was saying it. So, why did I start saying this? Anyway, so Debbie's decided to come out and do what she can, and I imagine she feels quite uncomfortable on social media. I don't know, but I would think that before all this happened, she probably wasn't a big sort of presence on social media, her or Warren, the dad, Jay's dad. So it's a big thing, but she knows that you need think about social media. What she's saying is true. Misinformation is wrong. But of course, social media has its positive benefits, because she's coming out on social media to talk about it. They were on, it wasn't her, but some, when the GoFundMe was put up and everything, it was on social media. Social media has a positive impact as well. But I do agree that maybe it should be regulated. People should be held to account for what they say. And if they don't I mean, you can always sort of question things. I'm not saying that you always have to accept the official narrative. Of course you don't. You can question things, but giving blatantly incorrect information and accusing a grieving mother of murdering her own son or doing it for the money is disgusting, and it should be dealt with.
His death. During that time, and to this day, our family and friends have continued to suffer due to the misinformation and lies being spread on social media. There are still videos being made on a daily basis. Families like ours deserve the space to grieve.
Yeah, people are still making videos and still saying all this crap. And I see this comment here, which I think is a really good comment. I do sympathise, I'm gutted for her, but I feel so sad for her. But social media got her son home and funeral too. I do agree with that too. You know, it helped towards the funeral costs and that. And then the creator says, but most of all, she'll wish she had her son. And that comes back to what I said before. Doesn't matter if you made $250,000 on social media, what would you prefer? You still prefer your son back, wouldn't you? So some people have said signed, and other people have said that they couldn't sign it. Where is the bloody link? Sorry. Anyway, listen to this.
We need social media companies to do more.
Oh, I've ended up on another one now. Anyway, it doesn't matter really. Oh, the volume's not very good on that.
As a lot of you remember, my son Jay Slater went missing last June in Tenerife. He was found having tragically fallen to his death. During that time, and to this day, our family and friends have continued to suffer due to the misinformation and lies being spread on social media. There are still videos being made on a daily basis. Families like ours deserve the space to grieve. We need social media companies to do more to protect people and for Ofcom to be held accountable. With Jay's law, we can do this.
Yeah. Ooh.
So I need your help to sign and share this petition. As a lot of you remember, my son Jay Slater went missing last June in Tenerife. He was found having tragic...
Okay, so it's just repeating now, but let's see if we can find the link. Hi, Army Vet from Louisiana. Hello. Annie, is your mum not very well? Oh, I'm so sorry about your mum, Annie. Listen, don't ever think you can't come on here because, you don't want to bring people down or whatever. That's what we're here for. This channel, it's a community channel. Especially the members as well. I've missed you. I have noticed, and I'm sure other people, angels noticed. I'm sure there's other people that have noticed, but people don't, sometimes people do come and go because of various things that are going on in their lives or whatever. I never like to, I never want people to think, oh God, I'm like, why aren't you watching my channel? Because that feels selfish. But I'm glad you've come on, and I'm glad now that I know why you haven't been on. And I tell you, I will pray for you and your mum. I know what it's like to lose your mum. I lost my mum quite a long time ago, and there's nothing quite like your mum, is there? Whatever your relationship, we didn't have the best relationship, but it's still heartbreaking to lose my mum. So I do understand. We all understand, probably. Most of us have probably lost somebody close in the family. So I just hope your mum's okay. Maybe she'll get better. I hope so. And you're trying to cope with it all, and you've got other things to cope with, haven't you? You've got kids, You've got just normal life, you've got your own sort of mental health and everything to cope with through it. I hope there's somebody out there supporting you as well, but we'll support you. We can't do anything, unfortunately. We can't change things, but we can support you at least. So, yeah. Oh, look, Angel's really missed you. So we've all missed you. Oh, it never sounds silly. Never sounds silly. Do you know, I've had students, they've got their parents and they've lost their parents. I had a student, well, she's still a student, lost her mum not long ago. Her mum was over 100, but still her mum, It's like, all right, it's more in the natural scheme of things to lose your parents as they get older. I feel like I was young when I lost my mum and dad. I was in my 30s. But I know people who've lost their mum and dad when they were 10 or whatever. So it's just, what can I say? It's awful, but we're here for you. Now, in the meantime, I'm trying to find this link. Let me see. So you talk amongst yourselves while I just find this link to this bloody petition. Oh, there it is, maybe. Right. It's not got enough signatures. I'm going to put the link up and then we're going to have a look at it. Why has it not got more signatures? This sort of irritates me because, it just shows you how many millions of videos have been made about Jay, how many people have been on there trolling his mom and this, that and the other, and all those content creators, not content creators, all those stirring gobshites, making videos every 5 minutes about Jay casting slurs on the family and that, and they can't be bothered signing the petition. No, they don't want to sign the petition because the petition is against them. So let's have a look. So this petition is to require online platforms to remove misinformation. So don't forget, this is misinformation. It's not information. It's not saying to people you can't talk about it. I would never agree to that. I think talking about Jay right from day one, because, straight away this case connected with me because I've got a young son, or, as I say, he's not as young as Jay now, but he was. And because I've got nephews, I've got family, he comes from an area near me. There was so much about Jay that just connected with me right from day one. So you see on my playlist, I covered it from day one, from the first time it was reported that he'd gone missing. Anyway, so as I say, it's not misinformation. I'm not against people when, especially these sort of appeals, as that person said in one of the comments on the TikTok, it was social media that helped to push the GoFundMe so that the money was raised that could bring him home, that could get the Swedish, the searchers that were Dutch, got the Dutch Sweden searchers, Signo, to go out there. I'm not against social media at all, because social media has I think there needs to be a debate maybe about the positive side of social media and the negative side. And these big platforms like Twitter and Facebook, etc., Instagram, whatever, they need to be held accountable about the coverage that they put out there. Not only in true crime cases, of course, there's big things at the moment, people who've lost their children to self-deletion because of things that are online. You can go online and find advice on how to delete yourself. It's disgusting. You can buy, there was a girl recently bought a poison online. Googled it, I suppose. Got a poison online to take to unalive herself. These are disgusting. These bits of online. It's got to be monitored more. I think what's happened with social media, it's exploded, and the government, if you like, already they can't keep up with it. And it used to be like this in mainstream media. It's only because of the Leveson report, after the all the horrible things that happened, you know, with the phone hacking scandals. A lot of people maybe don't even remember that. But, you know, they were hacking into people's phones, the News of the World, all these, you know, trying to find details about murder victims like Millie Dowler. And so it was only after the Leveson report that really they've tidied up their act a little bit. And really, I agree, it should be like that for social media as well. You have to be accountable for the content that you put out there. You know, if you go out there and talk a load of rubbish or make things up, you know, I feel very honoured, actually, that, you know, a few times I have had messages from members of the family of people that I've been talking about, and they have said that was a very accurate account. I always try to be reasonable. I don't, you know, and accurate. I'm not going out there and, you know, if all you're doing your content for is 4 clicks and views, clickbait, then you're a pretty pathetic person as far as I'm concerned. You know, to me, it's not about that. I don't care if I get in the algorithm or not. When I make a video, it's because I want to make it, because I think it's something I find interesting. I find my chatters will find interesting or important or relevant or important to talk about. So I don't do it and think, oh, maybe, you know, let's see how this goes with the algorithm. I fail miserably with the algorithm most of the time, to be honest. I've sort of given up now. You know, it's just like, oh, well, you know, sometimes my videos get picked up by the algorithm and sometimes I don't. I don't understand even what the algorithm means. I certainly don't try and direct myself towards it. I just do the video that I think, and yeah, of course I want people to watch it. It's not that I don't want anyone to watch it, but I'm not going to put a clickbait headline just so that people watch it, and then they watch it and they think, what is she talking about? Or she's talking a load of rubbish. Anyway, so introduce Jay's Law, specific legislation obliging platforms to remove organised misinformation that targets grieving families after tragic death. And it require platforms to act on speculative, malicious content likely to cause serious harm and work with Ofcom on enforcement and sanctions. Well, there you go. Seems quite logical to me. I'm going to sign that petition. I'll sign it now, but I don't want my address coming up online. I don't know if it will ask for my address or not. But, you know, it's only 1,208 signatures. It's not enough, is it? I mean, I think it's only just started, this petition, yesterday, perhaps. But, it needs a lot more signatures than that, because when it needs to get to at least 10,000 for the government to respond, and it needs 100,000 to be considered for debate. So I can share it on X. Yeah, I can share it on X. Why it says I can't perform this action, or have I? Oh, do you know what? Somebody who needs taken off due to this is the supposed sonar expert from Nicola Bulley, who keeps on, keeps on sort of, I don't know, just perpetuating conspiracy theories. They need to shut him down straight away. So, yeah, I'm all in favour of this petition. I hope you all are. I hope you can see I did put it in chat and ask for a postcode. So, there you go. So please go on, sign the petition. Let me put it in again. I will try and remember to put it in the description box. Get these trolls shut down. Get them shut down. All these misinformation idiots. You know, they just can't accept what's in front of their nose. They can't leave the families. It's nothing to do with them anyway, because they'll wake up tomorrow morning and the fact that Jay Slater is deceased doesn't affect their lives. Listen to this woman. She's his mother. Leave her alone. Leave the family alone. You know, Jay had an accident. He had an unfortunate accident. No one will be sorrier about that than Debbie and Warren. He was not murdered. He died accidentally. That's what happened. And, you know, just let it go. You know, if you can't support Debbie's, you know, his own family, then do you know what? I haven't got anything to say to you, I'm afraid. You need to be on sort of different, you know, there's loads of YouTubers and TikTokers out there who talk a load of rubbish, but you won't hear it from me. Okay, so that's it. I'm finished. I may even be back later. You never know. If I thaw out, you know, actually, I do feel warmer. Definitely helps wearing a hat. Definitely helps wearing a woolly hat, because I've shivered all morning and now I feel like relatively, I wouldn't say I'm warm, but I feel relatively warm. So listen, thank you so much for watching. Annie, I'm so glad that you've come on today and we found out what's happening with you. Yeah, we've all missed you. We have missed you. Sending virtual hugs, kisses. Really hope you're okay. Just wish there was something I could do, but of course we can't do anything, but we can pray for you and we can send you out positive vibes. Same for Debbie. So I hope Debbie's coping okay, and the rest of the family. It just feels to me that Debbie and Jay had a brilliant relationship. You can see that, can't you? It shines through. You know, they were close, and you know, it's a shame. But anyway, at least maybe she's got something now to focus on. Oh, look, we're all thinking of you. Oh, bless. Especially, anyway, why don't you email me, Annie, and let me know, or maybe next members, if you get a chance to come on or go. Did you join the Discord? Can't remember if you came into the Discord. Thank you, Lily. Thank you so much. Lily signed the petition. Yeah, I'm going to go and sign it right now as I come off here. Okay, so listen, take care. Enjoy the rest of the day or the afternoon or the evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. Oh, look, everyone's thinking about you, Annie. I feel like I want to stay on so we could all tell Annie how I'm thinking about her. But, you know, Annie's been a member of this channel and a chatter, you know, for a long time. And you have been missed. You have been missed. Okay, I'll see you all really soon in the next video. Get on there, sign the petition. And until I see you again, may your God go with you. Thank you.